Greetings, Earthlings. In this video, we'll be doing a player tier list for Survivor Season 49. So let's jump right into Survivor Season 49 tier list. Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the dub. Before I begin this tier list, I have to apologize for dropping the ball. You know, we did so well. I had season 46 from when I started the podcast back in April of 2024, covered to a T. Um, Survivor 47 covered to a T. Survivor 48 covered to a T. Survivor 49. I lost motivation, man. And, this was a better season than season 48. Was it? I don't know. But I'm not going to get into my full thoughts on Survivor 49. There was computer issues. There was, I wanted to do guests and then there wasn't guests. So I want to get this video out there because season 48, that cast tier list did crazy well. One of my best, I think that is my best video of all time. So why not bring it back for Survivor 49? And B, I want to show my Survivor fans and subscribers, if there are any, I'm still here and we're doing content for 50 because Survivor 50 is going to make my life. No, but we're doing Survivor 50 content. I want to get this out here because I want to get some opinions out there and I want to interact with y'all. So let me know what your thoughts are down below on these characters. So how we're going to do this tier list, it's going to be based off both character or three things: character in the show, how much I like them personally, and were they contributing to the game. So, maybe you can reference my past tier list. Also, y'all say if there's anyone who's on this season watching this, y'all saying go out there and try it yourself. Okay, yeah, I applied twice, and I'm gonna apply for a third time after I do this video. So maybe give you some tips in the DMs. Give me your casting guy or girl. Help me out. Help a brother out. I know I'm not going to get into the show probably, but it's a man can dream, right? Anyways, let's start this tier list off. So it looks like we're in alphabetical order. We're good. Um, Shout out to Alex Brotman for making this tier list. I made one of my own, but couldn't find it on the search, so we pulled up Alex Brotman's. Thank you, Alex. And speaking of Alex, he's our first person to get into. So to start this season off, I liked Alex. I thought, you know, yes, there were rumblings of spoilers, and we know who's on season 50. If you were tuned in, you were tuned in. Alex, starting with Alex. I liked Alex at the beginning of the season, and I thought he had a good chance of making it far. He was kind of the middleman on that blue tribe. Had the thing with Jake, had the thing with Sophie, maybe kind of like they were kind of like fighting for the trio with Jake. I really liked Alex in the season. He kind of flamed out during the merge. He just wasn't shown that much. Got caught playing the middle, which when I play these games, the middle is right where I want to be. Unlike Alex, I win though. No, I've just won two orgs, so I'm confident. Um, I'm gonna start Alex at B just because I think there's gonna be characters who are higher and who are lower. There were cringy moments like him saying like, "Oh, I work in DC," blah blah blah. We get it, brother. Like I get that's your thing to get on the shows. They're like, you got to talk about this, and he's like, I spent all day in DC, and I'm out here killing chickens. Like that part was cringe to me. I don't care that you kill a chicken, but like, the way that whole thing happened was cringe. Um, and he's a good dude, but he's not like I don't come out of the season being like, where's Alex on my screen? He was fine. He passes the test. He gets a B. Annie, everyone calls her Trashy Annie. I don't know where that comes from. Um, Annie seems like a relic from the old days, man, where she seemed like she was playing this game 10 years ago and just like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that's it. And I don't have to worry about new era stuff. She was mostly forgettable. Wasn't her biggest fan. I'm gonna put her C tier. She was on my draft team and she failed me, so that may be harboring some resentment there. But I don't know. It didn't feel like Annie provided much to the show and was just kind of given like a side character role to be in this show for 2 episodes, and that was it. Um, yeah, she didn't do much good or bad. It just was she was mostly forgettable, and her boot episode was really boring. A lot of these early merge episodes were pretty boring. No, or pre-merge. Sorry. So no offense to Annie, but I didn't really care about Annie at all. Jake, where do we put Jake? I don't like how it doesn't show me where I'm going. Okay, thank you. Um, we'll put these two together, the bromance. I like Jake. He seemed like, if you've ever listened to like Paul Bissonnette or like a Canadian hockey guy, like he's gave me that vibe. Like, you like the guys with the deep Canadian accents. He was pretty chill. Got bit by the snake, which I thought was really interesting. Not the way that he handled it. Just, that happened to him. He was kind of running that tribe too. Like, let's talk about it. He was running the blue tribe. He would have ran the season. Would he have? I don't know. But he was a good character enough. Wasn't on it for too, like I'm not gonna dock you points for going out early if you were iconic enough. It's just like what let's remember what Jake actually did. Get bit by a snake. The shoe thing was like I like the shoe thing because it's different. We need different things in the show that's been going on for 49 seasons, especially when they've done 9 seasons in a row of the same exact thing. Um, so I'm gonna give him B tier. Like, he's kind of that archetype, strong guy, decent personality. Like, probably would be an early merge boot if he made it that far. Canadian, I did like that vibe. So he wasn't one of my favorites in the season, but he wasn't someone I didn't dislike either. I think him above Alex is fair, and I think being above, I'd be fine seeing Alex play again. I wouldn't be asking for it, but if it happens, it happens. Jason, I'm trying to keep the deeds here for people I don't really like, but like, there's no one on this cast. Well, there is, as I looked on the list, there is somebody here that I don't like. Um, just to be, a little bit dramatic, I'm gonna put Jason in D. Yes, you're the alternate, so you're supposed to play like this is your second time, not like this is your half time. Like he was mad boring on the swap tribe, he was mad boring on the original tribe. What did Jason do in this season? Exactly. Nerd archetype, which was fine. Like he played Pokemon or something. He mentioned that to like Nate, and Nate's like, "What are you talking about?" I don't know. Jason didn't do much for me on the season, and I didn't really care for him, so he gets D tier. Sorry, Jason. Jawan. Um, the friends I watch Survivor with have some controversial opinions on Jawan. I liked Juwan, but it felt like he was too into like somebody like when somebody's so into it that it like kind of turns you off. That's kind of how I felt about Juwan. Like he was so into this game that it was like life and death, and his exit interviews were a little weird, and I don't know. I don't know where to land Juwan. I'm thinking I'm gonna put him at the bottom of B tier. No, he's got to go above Alex, right? I mean, strategically, Juwan was. You know what? We'll put Juwan top of B. Juwan was running this show for like a couple weeks there. Him and Sage were running this shit for early merge. So I got to give credit to Juwan. I don't know. Juwan's a hard person to rank because there was cringy moments, the whole monster thing. Like, dude, don't feed into Uncle Jeff. I didn't really care about the Uncle Jeff thing one way or another, so I do like Juwan just for saying that to piss people off. Um, but yeah, there might be a lot of people ending up on this B tier because there's a lot of people I was just indifferent on. And Juwan's kind of like a good indifferent where like there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad, so that's always good for the television product. That's where I'm letting Juwan. Jeremiah. A lot of J's, 4 J's on this and what, 5 S's? 6 S's. So that's why the alphabetical is working this way. Jeremiah. Don't remember much from him, so I can't really put him higher than anybody else on B. Like, obviously the laugh is iconic, but just because it's so like unhinged and like weird. I feel like I do remember some fun moments of like him early on in the Blue Tribe. Obviously, he gets booted by episode 3, but it felt like he was kind of, him and Soph were a duo. Don't really remember what much else Jeremiah got up to, and he kind of just fell fodder to the game. So didn't do anything to piss me off, didn't do anything to make me like him a lot. Christina, oh, yeah. You feel bad for Christina, right? Because she loved her mother, and that's kind of her story this season is how much she loved her moms, and you got to feel for that. Like I'm lucky to have my mom, and everyone who's listening to this who still has their mom out there, go give them a hug for Christina. It was tough to watch her go through this journey on this season. Besides that, it felt like there wasn't much to Christina's story, and Her rivalry with Savannah was iconic. You got to give, I love the question at the end too. But those are like two standout moments from a season of just like, I don't know. I didn't like, I don't know. I think I'm going to put Christina in C tier above Annie. She's definitely more memorable than Annie. Definitely more interesting than Annie. Just wasn't my vibe this season. I don't know why. I just, that's not really the type of character I root for. The person who's on the bottom and like is just sad about it and, wants to play like a straight honest game and all that stuff. I don't know. It's weird to judge Christina. I'm sorry. Matt. Matt Unk, as I called him in the first two reviews. Matt's S tier, bro. Why did this guy not make it farther? Because he got swap screwed and y'all some haters on that OG Red Tribe. Why kick out Matt over Jason? Jason's this nerd, probably could figure out things and advantages. Matt was the man, bro. He quit being a finance bro to be a airport luggage guy. That's a guy who has a grip on life. Matt was Unk. He was OG. He was respect. He was my favorite character on this season. He only lasted 4 episodes. It was depressing. I had him on the draft, um, and I wasn't even mad at him because you know what? He got ageisted and he got swap screwed. Give Matt a second chance. Definitely won't happen, but fuck it. I loved Matt, and I would need to see more Matt somewhere. Put him on like what's a good reality show for him? I don't even know. Put him on something. He deserves it. Maybe like Traders US, the civilian version. I guess he wouldn't be a civilian in that case. I don't know. Give me Matt somewhere. I love Matt. And I know that's a hot take. People probably even forgot Matt was on the season. But if you were locked in with Unk like I was, you know. You know. And shout out postseason content from this Sophie right here. She did a music video, and this man got off the shift and pulled up to the bar in the luggage uniform and was just rocking a dance. Like, come on, bro. MC. MC was cool. Like, I don't know. You know? What do you think of MC? MC was kind of just there, so I'm thinking B tier. I think Alex is more interesting. I'll put her over Jeremiah because, she had some fun moments with Nate. I loved her and Nate's journey. I loved her talking about playing sports and kind of being the odd person out back in the day from being so tall. I think that's what she mentioned this season. If not, I'm sorry, but her versus Sophie turned iconic. Like, there were some good moments with MC. Really, the only look we got at the Yellow Tribe early on was her forming like duos and stuff with or trying to figure out that mess, but no one really cared about the Yellow Tribe early on, I guess. So that was that. But I got MC middle of B tier. She was fine. Jared number two, big responsibility. Nate from Marvel fandom and not fandom. What's it called? Directing and stuff. Nate was a goat. Nate was A tier. His interactions with MC, he was running the game at the merge. That's why they took him out. Okay. He was doing more than Savannah and more than Rizzo. And would they have played his idol on him? No, obviously he went home. Blindside. That's we need to take out a big player like Nate. I love the shoes that Nate had as well, the little toe things. Nate was fun to listen to on the show. Like he was a rootable character, got the dad strength and all that. Nate was a standout for me. And, maybe you're looking at this tier list and you look at the 8 people I've put below these two on the top and you're like, maybe you have a type. Maybe I do. I don't know. I liked what I saw from Nate on this season. I want to see Nate back, like him doing his exit interviews from like the set of freaking Doomsday. Come on, man. That's an icon. Next up, someone who didn't really affect the season that much, Nicole. Your moment is spitting water in Jeremiah's face. Just completely bought it at the first tribal, had no idea what was going on, talked a big game heading into the season and completely failed. So at least you had the moment of her saying, my family's gonna laugh when they see this. So I hope they had a good laugh seeing that because, yeah, I don't know. Nicole didn't do much for me on the season. Rizzo. Um, I gotta put Rizzo A tier. Yeah. And maybe it's because I'm a 25-year-old Gen Zer who isn't as cringy, but would say a lot of the same things. I wouldn't spam it though, especially around people who are older. But Rizzo really made this season interesting. Like if you think about it, like him and Savannah were really the entertainment of the season. Now, is that fair to say when we knew that they would both be back for season 50, so they're under a microscope? Maybe not. But in my eyes, Rizzo provided value to this season. Every week would he play that, or would he not play that well? How does he keep getting away with this? It's the Jesse Pinkman. How does Rizzo keep not playing his idol and keep getting away with it? I believe him at the bottom of eights here because there were some, the Riz God thing. I get it, your shtick. But yeah, I don't know. I have a cool nickname too. They call me Dub. But Riz God, I don't know. Rizgod, the whole thing. Like, really, bro? Do we really need that? So he lands bottom of eight tier. I do like Rizzo though. I'm excited to see him on 50. I think he could do well on 50. Youngest player on 50. Sage. Sage is top somewhere. I don't know if she's quite Matt level. I'm gonna go top eight tier. She's has the weird things you can't be like, this is a person I love. The blackhead things, the farting. Like the first time we see Sage, she talks about like I love farting. And then she gets off the show on her exit interview and she calls the whole experience boring. Lady, you know how much people would give to be out there? Strategically, she was running the show with Joanne. Like, I think she deserved a couple more votes at the end. I thought she was a threat to win up until the end. Um, spoilers. I wasn't spoiled on the season. I don't do that. But um, it felt like she had a real chance to win this game. I felt like she deserved that chance as well. One vote only from her and Juwan, but her and Juwan as their strategic duos. We see them both next to each other, or horizontal, not horizontal, vertical from each other. Was a fun duo to watch. I wouldn't mind seeing Sage back for another season. Don't know if she wants to do it, but I thought that was a great um, game from Sage, and I'm excited to see more. Not happening, but you never know. Sage was fun on the season. One of my favorite characters. Savannah. Just kidding. Savannah's awesome. She brings in like a Parvati vibe. And she's blunt, she's direct. That makes it great. She won immunities, which I didn't expect as much, tied a record. I think she's more interesting than Rizzo, more interesting than Nate. Like I'm putting her there. Look at this. You got the OG. Look at this OG Uli tribe. One, two, three, four, five. I wonder where the sixth person will go. But no, Savannah was a cool winner. Definitely. I'm trying to think, like all the winner they do give of winners a good edit because it's like Kenzie was like botted game wise, but I still liked her. It's like everyone in the new era has been fun. Gabler, what people don't like Gabler. I don't, whatever. Um, I thought Savannah was fun though, fun personality, made some good moments. Like her fighting MC for the Idol Clue was crazy. Her just doing everything she did, it was awesome. Like Savannah made the season great. Her and Rizzo, you can see why they brought them both back. I'm excited to see what Savannah does on 50. Will people know she's a winner? Will they hide it? I don't mind that pick. In the grand scheme of things, of course, I mind it over certain legends. Like if you didn't see Jerry Manthey play Rob Has a Podcast, Mafia, what are you doing? But I like Savannah. She's one of my faves in the season. It's hard not to like her because she's just awesome and she's what you look for when you're watching reality television. Shannon, least favorite player on the season, goes in the bottom of D tier. Just not my cup of tea at all, in any capacity. Don't like to meditate. Mentioned on the first episode that I would be frustrated to be on a tribe with her where I was forced to meditate. I would not be down to do that. Thought that was weird that she would force people into that, and the whole religious thing is not my thing either. I'm not going to come at you for doing that, but to like try and bring it up, like, and make it a thing with other people that aren't interested. Didn't love that out of her. And just the way she kind of spoke of herself as being great. And, she's from my city, from Boston. I don't live near, or I live near Boston. That's the closest city I live. No, well, that's a lie. That's a lie. But didn't really like her vibe this season. And she's my least favorite person on this cast. So I'm sorry, Shannon. Sophie S. Um, quiet from the first part of the game. I gotta put her like here. Nah, she had more memorable moments, more memorable moments there. Um, her and MC next to each other, I like that little duo because they had a little rivalry at the end, right at the end there. Sophie was fun to win challenges and to call out of Jeff for not bringing shit on the rewards is hype. The conspiracy theories around her being the alternate or being the person who had to be put on because the alternates are the people who got cut, got sent home, and she was pre-gaming with them, but they just had to keep her. It's fun. Like, I don't know, it didn't happen, but she was too quiet on the show for me to put her any higher just because, and that's not even her fault. That's the editor's fault. It didn't seem like there was a ton going on there that we missed out on. But Sophie was cool. That Sophie was cool. This Sophie's cool. Cool enough, right in the middle of the road. Like, I don't really know if you're putting her much higher or much lower what you're seeing. Like, I feel like if everyone in the world that watched Survivor made a tier list, she'd be like right in the same exact spot, maybe a couple spots higher. Sophie. L, I'm putting right up with Matt. She made the season great. She was the narrator for the first part of the season, and you always rooted for her. She's done crazy work on social media as well. Got 2 votes to win, which I think a lot of people thought at the end she was drawing dead, especially if she was going to be at the end with Savannah or Rizzo. I thought she played a masterful game for what it was. Just needed to make one more big move, and she would have won this game. It was awesome to see her come from a tribe of two, integrate herself with the red group, form that trio, the Tres Leches, but also have options around. Like, we love a social game queen. We love Sophie. L. I want to see her back ASAP. Get her on 54. Like, let's quit fucking around with these newbie seasons, especially if you're not going to change up the theme or anything. Um, I love Sophie on the season. Steven. I like Steven too, and he's getting at least him or Rizzo. Like, he's better. He's more. Well, they were kind of him and Rizzo kind of do the same gimmick, right? Where it's like, I'm a NASA scientist. I'm a Gen Zer. It's like, what do you prefer more? I'm gonna go with the Gen Zer just because I'm a Gen Zer myself. But yeah, Steven was fun too. Like, he was one of the people I rooted for the most, just because he felt like, you root for who you relate to, and I think that makes sense on why I'm so high on Rizzo and Steven when maybe some other people aren't. So that's where we wrap up on the season 49 tier list. Where did I go wrong? I'm sure there will be no disagreements whatsoever on this tier list. Where did I go right? Is this a crazy tier list? I think last season I had Bianca and Thomas at the top, which, we love our pre-jurors here. I don't care if you get out early. When you're providing content like Matt, you're going at the top. When you're Unk and you carry the season, you go at the top. So let's run it down. Top S tier, we got main character of the season, Sophie and Matt, the GOAT. On the top of A tier, we have Sage, Savannah, um, Nate, Rizzo, and Steven, all some of my favorites from the season. B tier, didn't really have an opinion either way on these people. Jawan, Jake, Alex, Sophie, MC, and Jeremiah. C tier, slight dislike. Christina and Annie. Just didn't do much for me either way. D tier, Nicole, Jason, and Shannon. My least favorite people on this season. Nicole for, flopping and being um, I don't even remember why I disliked Nicole. It's so long ago. Jason was just invisible, and Shannon was a weirdo. So that's it on Survivor Season 49. If you want to see any more Survivor videos, I'll queue them up, man. I don't give a fuck. But y'all gotta let me know what you want to see out there. Besides that, Season 50 is in the works. We're coming back with guests. If not, I'm doing it by myself. Fuck that shit. We're back. So let's go. Movie reviews coming out soon. NFL, weekly, UFC, all the things. So. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if not, you'll see me on Survivor anyway, so might as well get to know me. Um, I'll leave you all with that. Be easy, y'all.